Not only did Henry Cavill manage to make a Superman movie that wasn't droll and derivative, but he also brought the white-haired, blue-eyed demon Geralt of Rivia into our homes and dreams. It's hard to pick a favorite between The Witcher and Man of Steel, both of which star Henry Cavill. Seems like a tough decision, but it isn't what's driving people crazy. Concerned fans are freaking out because Henry Cavill may be leaving Superman to star in The Witcher, a Netflix series. Let's talk more about it. First off, Henry Cavill is the perfect Superman. Henry Cavill brought one of the DC Universe's most iconic heroes to life. He portrayed Superman in Zack Snyder's Man of Steel 2013, and then again in Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice 2016. The superhero took on the Dark Knight with no real preparation and was a lot more successful than most of Batman's counters. The actor was able to demonstrate a wide range of acting skills, which helped him land the role of Geralt of Rivia in The Witcher. Geralt is a resolute warrior with silver hair who nobody likes. In 2019, the Superman actor signed the contract to play the lead role in the series because his negotiations with Warner Brothers were unsuccessful, and it was unclear whether or not he'd be playing the role of Superman again in the future. What's more, Geralt quickly became a fan favorite. Since it aired, there's been a meteoric rise in the number of people who are fans of The Witcher, due to the fact that the main character and the show's writers are doing everything in their power to remain authentic to the source material. As fans of the books and the show, we don't really have much to complain about in that department. The news that the program would be returning for a 4th and 5th season on Netflix was met with overwhelming joy from the audience. Henry is such a tremendous fan of the books and games, and he has delivered such a fantastic performance in the first 3 seasons of The Witcher that there's little doubt that the upcoming 2 seasons of the show will be just as memorable as the last ones. Up next, we have bad news for Superman fans and good news for The Witcher fans. There is little good news for those who believe that Henry Cavill should play Superman in upcoming films. Cavill stated in a recent interview that he already has a Superman costume and is only waiting to hear back from Warner Brothers Discovery regarding the role. Now that responsibility appears to be on Warner Brothers to make a choice, it seems less likely that we'll see him in a cape and cowl anytime soon. This is due to greater obligations to The Witcher, as well as rumors that Warner Brothers Discovery could replace the actor in the role of Superman. This will be the case in particular in the event that both Season 4 and Season 5 of The Witcher are filmed in rapid succession. As a consequence of this, the scripts for both seasons will need to be completed before production can begin. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. actor will only have a few months to a year before he'll be unavailable for any other projects that might want him during the time that the series is being filmed. Lastly, Henry Cavill's return as Superman is not very likely. Henry Cavill returning as Superman will require some creative scheduling between the two brands on the part of Warner Brothers, Discovery, or at the very least, some patience while they wait for Henry to finish filming the 5th season of The Witcher. Fans have grown to enjoy Henry Cavill's portrayal of Superman, despite initial reservations about his casting, and many are hoping that he'll reprise his role for the ultimate good of the DCEU. We need a superhero who has a working moral compass as compared to the darkness that Batman brings to the DCEU. Fans have grown to enjoy Henry Cavill's portrayal of Superman. If the actors who brought the character's chemistry to life were to leave the franchise, it would be a devastating blow, especially when considering how much the audience liked watching the characters interact with one another even while they were trying to kill each other. It'll be interesting to see where the DCEU goes from here with Superman. We know that no one else in our generation can play Superman quite like Henry Cavill did, much like Christian Bale's iconic depiction of the Dark Knight. In other news, starting with Freya Allan would make the perfect Supergirl. For Man of Steel 2, the internet proposes casting Freya Allan as Supergirl opposite Henry Cavill's Superman. Seems like the perfect choice, right? The development of the DCEU has never been simple to foresee. What with all the possible futures and the ever-shifting plans for the franchise, some performers who look destined to become permanent fixtures of the cinematic universe were replaced or forgotten after only a handful of films. Still, DC appears to be finding its footing in its continuing war with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Zack Snyder's intense filmmaking approach may not be for everyone, but almost all fans can agree that Henry Cavill was made to play Superman. Fans were taken aback by the news of his impending exit from the DCEU because his performance is almost as favorably received as Christopher Reeves. Too soon to say goodbye to one of the best live-action renditions of the Man of Steel ever envisioned after only a few films, especially considering he only got one solo film. Fans think that Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl, should make her big screen debut, even though there are still many Superman stories that ought to be revisited in the DCEU. Supergirl's continued absence from the DC Extended Universe's film canon is, at this point, puzzling. Lucky for audiences, the young English actress Freya Allen has already co-starred with Superman, making her the ideal option to play Supergirl. In the Netflix adaptation of The Witcher, in which Allen plays Princess Cirilla of Sintra, she shot to fame. They already have great chemistry together and are friends in real life. Seems pretty perfect. Let's hope the DCEU jumps on the bandwagon soon. Up next, Henry Cavill is a total nerd at heart. You wouldn't look at Henry Cavill and think, geez, this guy looks like a total nerd. Although he may look like a typical gym bro, this Man of Steel is actually a total nerd. Henry Cavill's nerdiness is rumored to be famous among Hollywood's elite. Henry Cavill used his extensive comic book nerdiness to his advantage when preparing for his role as Superman in Man of Steel. Cavill has spoken about the Superman comics that influenced his interpretation of the character, but he hasn't revealed the names of the writers. The actor is super into cosplay, something that can clearly be seen in the movies and series that he does. Carrying off a disguise is second nature for Cavill, who also plays Sherlock Holmes in Netflix's Enola Holmes. He's stated his fondness for donning the famous Superman suit and the armor in The Witcher on Netflix. Cavill is a major admirer of movies, in addition to being a fanatic of comic books, video games, and other forms of media. Before being cast in the part of Geralt of Rivia on Netflix's The Witcher series, the actor spent more than 100 hours playing the outstanding video game The Witcher 3 on the computer. As a result of this, his portrayal of Geralt was extremely comparable to that of the game, which was something that people very much appreciated. In a world where the label nerd is being used more and more loosely to describe people with a wide range of interests and backgrounds, it's incredibly reassuring to see someone like Henry Cavill who is such a breath of fresh air. Even though The Witcher usually plays tough guys, he seems the last person you'd expect to find playing with miniatures, building his own PC, or reading comic books in his spare time. However, if there's anything that actors like him and Terry Crews have taught us nerds, it's that first impressions can be very misleading. Finally, Henry Cavill would make the perfect Lion-O. An artist who goes by the name Samu Karts has divulged his choices for the main roles that he'd want to see played by actors in a film adaptation of the famous action animation from the 1980s, Thundercats. His notion, along with the accompanying concept art of Henry Cavill playing Lion-O from Thundercats, is perhaps the most perfect thing to grace the internet. Both his Instagram postings of photorealistic concept art for a live-action Thundercats movie and his casting choices for the film's key roles are amazing. His Instagram account is @ThundercatsMovie. The actor who plays Superman seems like a perfect choice for this role, considering how seriously he takes his fandom roles. He gave a flawless performance as Superman in The Man of Steel, as Sherlock Holmes in the Netflix series Enola Holmes, as Theseus in the film Immortals, and as Geralt of Rivia in The Witcher. In addition to this, he possesses the charisma and charm that are required to play the role. Let's make this happen. That's a wrap for this video. Should Henry Cavill stay focused on The Witcher or reprise his role as Superman? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.